And now, possibly from the sublime to the ridiculous, maybe the other way round, I'm joined by Craig Godwin. Godwin, I should say. Godwin, who is the squire of the Bampton Traditional Morris Dancers. Morris Dancers, not Morris Men. This is an all opportunities activity. Craig, thanks very much for talking to us. Tell me, what's the difference between the traditional Morris and all the other kinds?
Well, I think there's a lot of talk about what's traditional and what's not. Talk about whether it's on one foot or another. But Bampton's a living tradition. So the dances have changed quite significantly over the last 45 years that I've been dancing. So, and they will continue to change, I'm sure, after I'm long gone, you know.
Well, that's part of the aspect of Morris dancing, that it's an ancient tradition, but ancient traditions only survive by being versatile and adapting. Evolution is Darwinian.
Yeah, I guess that's the case. I mean, I think it's probably very true and a lot to do with personal preference. So the second dance we did, Fursfield, used to be very different, and it was more of a country dance type style dancing. And somebody suggested one day that actually it would look more Bampton if we capered round. So that's how that one came into being.
Is there a vast rivalry between the Bampton tradition and other traditions? Are the rest of them, they're just sort of basically Trotskyist Morris dancers?
No, there's not a great rivalry. And we have 3 teams in Bampton, and those 3 teams get on very well as well. Although some people like to make out that there's more a rivalry than there really is. And we dance with other teams all the time. We invite them to Bampton. We come to a place like Sidmouth and dance with them. So no, it's all very good fun.
A bit of rivalry always adds a bit of spice anyway, doesn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say we don't suggest we're the best. Out of the Bampton dances, obviously.
What does it mean to come to Sidmouth? This is it's a sort of premier folk festival in the land, isn't it? Is this a big achievement for you lot?
It's fantastic to be at Sidmouth. We all know it's the biggest, best folk festival. I've been here a number of times. I was very lucky to first come here when I was only 13, so they do invite Bampton quite often. Yeah, it's a real thrill to be dancing here on some of these stages with such audiences that not only enthusiastic, but they know what they're looking at as well, so makes it a bit special.
The squire of any side has quasi-tyrannical powers, practically life and death and droit de seigneur. How is it that you became the squire?
So when Francis Shergold retired as squire, he decided to put it up for a vote, and Tony Daniels became squire. And then when Tony retired, I got voted in, unfortunately. You know, it's one of those things, a two-edged sword. It's absolutely marvellous to be the squire, but you have to organise them, and sometimes it's like herding cats.
I can understand that, and sometimes I won't say it looked like that with you lot today, but I have seen pub car parks where it looks exactly like that. And I must ask this final question. I noticed that Morris dancers are never more than, I was corrected earlier, 50 yards away from a pub. Why on earth is that?
Well, that's quite simple, really. So all engines need oil to run, and a Bampton Morris dancer, you know, he needs that beer to keep him going. So yeah, it's just lubrication, you know, so that we don't dehydrate too much.
Craig, I know exactly how you feel. Thank you very much for coming along, and well done today.